Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Move out of or depart from. An opening that permits escape or release. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Euphemistic expressions for death. Lose the lead. The act of going out. Be released or become known, of news. Move out of or depart from. Bring, take, or pull out of a container or from under a cover. Move out or away. Take out of a container or enclosed space. Escape potentially unpleasant consequences. Get away with a forbidden action. I couldn't get out from under these responsibilities. Express with difficulty. I managed to get out a few words. Move out of or depart from. Date regularly. Have a steady relationship with. Become extinguished. Go out of fashion. Become unfashionable. Leave the house to go somewhere. Take the field. Leave unchanged or undisturbed or refrain from taking. Leave it as is. Remove oneself from an association with or participation in. She wants to leave. Leave behind unintentionally. Produce as a result or residue. Transmit, knowledge or skills. Leave your name and address here. Put into the care or protection of someone. Leave your child in the nurse's care. Move out of or depart from. Leave the room. The period of time during which you were absent from work or duty. A 10 days leave to visit his mother. Be survived by after one's death. The act of departing politely. He took his leave. Go away from a place. At what time does your train leave? Leave or give by will after one's death. Make a possibility or provide opportunity for, permit to be attainable or cause to remain. This leaves no room for improvement. Act or be so as to become in a specified state. Go and leave behind, either intentionally or by neglect or forgetfulness. Have left or have as a remainder. 19-8 leaves 11. Permission to do something. She was granted leave to speak. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Circulate or distribute or equip with. Issue a new uniform to the children. Come out of. Water issued from the hole in the wall. The act of issuing printed materials. One of a series published periodically. She found an old issue of the magazine in her dentist's waiting room. An opening that permits escape or release. The canyon had only one issue. The becoming visible. Prepare an issue for public distribution or sale. Supplies, as food or clothing or ammunition, issued by the government. The immediate descendants of a person. He died without issue. The act of providing an item for general use or for official purposes, usually in quantity. A new issue of stamps. Make out an issue. Some situation or event that is thought about. An important question that is in dispute and must be settled. The issue could be settled by requiring public education for everyone. Bring out an official document, such as a warrant. Activity that frees or expresses creative energy or emotion. She had no other outlet for her feelings. An opening that permits escape or release. A place of business for retailing goods. Receptacle providing a place in a wiring system where current can be taken to run electrical devices. An opening that permits escape or release. He blocked the way out. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Become stultified, suppressed, or stifled. Become or cause to become obstructed. Wring the neck of. The man choked his opponent. A coil of low resistance and high inductance used in electrical circuits to pass direct current and attenuate alternating current. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Impair the respiration of or obstruct the air passage of. Struggle for breath. Have insufficient oxygen intake. Suppress the development, creativity, or imagination of. Reduce the air supply. Choke a carburetor. Be too tight. Rub or press. Cause to retch or choke. Constrict someone's throat and keep from breathing. A valve that controls the flow of air into the carburetor of a gasoline engine. Breathe with great difficulty, as when experiencing a strong emotion. She choked with emotion when she spoke about her deceased husband. Check or slow down the action or effect of. She choked her anger. Fail to perform adequately due to tension or agitation. The team should have won hands down but choked, disappointing the coach and the audience. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Pass out from weakness, physical or emotional distress due to a loss of blood supply to the brain. Come to a stop. Hit, especially on the head. The stranger conked him and he fainted. Informal term for the nose. A harsh hoarse utterance, as of a frog. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Utter a hoarse sound, like a raven. Make complaining remarks or noises under one's breath. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. The event of dying or departure from life. Upon your decease, the capital will pass to your grandchildren. Cut or shape with a die. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. She died from cancer. Lose sparkle or bouquet. Stop operating or functioning. The car died on the road. A small cube with 1 to 6 spots on the 6 faces, used in gambling to generate random numbers. A cutting tool that is fitted into a D-stock and used for cutting male, external, screw threads on screws or bolts or pipes or rods. A device used for shaping metal. Be brought to or as if to the point of death by an intense emotion such as embarrassment, amusement, or shame. We almost died laughing during the show. Disappear or come to an end. Their anger died. Feel indifferent towards. She died to worldly things and eventually entered a monastery. Languish as with love or desire. Suffer or face the pain of death. Martyrs may die every day for their faith. Suffer spiritual death. Be damned, in the religious sense. Whosoever believes in me shall never die. To be on base at the end of an inning, of a player. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Expel air. Lose validity. My passports expired last month. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Follow a certain course. How did your interview go? Have a particular form. As the saying goes. Move away from a place into another direction. Perform as expected when applied. The washing machine won't go unless it's plugged in. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. How fast does your new car go? Be in the right place or situation. Let's put healthcare where it belongs, under the control of the government. A usually brief attempt. A board game for two players who place counters on a grid. The object is to surround and so capture the opponent's counters. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Make a certain noise or sound. Lead, extend, or afford access. This door goes to the basement. Street names for methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Continue to live and avoid dying. Begin or set in motion. Ready, set, go. Stop operating or functioning. To be spent or finished. The money had gone after a few days. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. It's my go. Blend or harmonize. This sofa won't go with the chairs. Go through in search of something. Search through someone's belongings in an unauthorized way. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. Get going. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Can I go now? Give support to, or make a choice of, one out of a group or number. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. His knowledge doesn't go very far. Follow a procedure or take a course. We should go farther in this matter. Be the right size or shape. Fit correctly or as desired. Progress by being changed. The speech has to go through several more drafts. Be abolished or discarded. These ugly billboards have to go. Be or continue to be in a certain condition. Be ranked or compare. This violinist is as good as Juilliard-trained violinists go. Be spent. Functioning correctly and ready for action. All systems are go. Pass, fair, or elapse, of a certain state of affairs or action. How is it going? Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Move past. A black limousine passed by when she looked out the window. Eliminate from the body. Grant authorization or clearance for. A usually brief attempt. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Come to pass. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. The media representatives had special passes. Cause to pass. She passed around the plates. Be superior or better than some standard. Transmit information. Pass along the good news. Go unchallenged. Be approved. Pass over, across, or through. Place into the hands or custody of. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. The pass was fumbled. Pass into a specified state or condition. Make laws, bills, etc. or bring into effect by legislation. They passed the amendment. A difficult juncture. A pretty pass. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. A permit to enter or leave a military installation. He had to show his pass in order to get out. Pass by. A bad or difficult situation or state of affairs. Travel past. The sports car passed all the trucks. Disappear gradually. The pain eventually passed off. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. The location in a range of mountains of a geological formation that is lower than the surrounding peaks. We got through the pass before it started to snow. An automatic advance to the next round in a tournament without playing an opponent. Go successfully through a test or a selection process. She passed the New Jersey bar exam and can practice law now. Be inherited by. Use up a period of time in a specific way. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. The pass to visit had a strict time limit. Accept or judge as acceptable. The teacher passed the student although he was weak. A complimentary ticket. The star got passes for his family. A flight or run by an aircraft over a target. The plane turned to make a second pass. Allow to go without comment or censure. The insult passed as if unnoticed. Go across or through. We passed the point where the police car had parked. Military, a written leave of absence. He had a pass for 3 days. One complete cycle of operations, as by a computer. It was not possible to complete the computation in a single pass. Throw, a ball, to another player. Smith passed. Transfer to another, of rights or property. Our house passed under his official control. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Go out of existence. She hoped that the problem would eventually pass away. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. The children perished in the fire. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Leave quickly. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A variation that deviates from the standard or norm. The act of departing. Euphemistic expressions for death. The act of expelling air from the lungs. A coming to an end of a contract period. Euphemistic expressions for death. The act of departing. Euphemistic expressions for death. Advancing toward a goal. Persuading him was easy going. In full operation. A going concern. The amount by which the cost of a business exceeds its revenue. The company operated at a loss last year. Military personnel lost by death or capture. The disadvantage that results from losing something. His loss of credibility led to his resignation. Euphemistic expressions for death. Gradual decline in amount or activity. Weight loss. Something that is lost. The car was a total loss. The act of losing someone or something. Everyone expected him to win, so his loss was a shock. The experience of losing a loved one. He sympathized on the loss of their grandfather. Lasting a very short time. A passing fancy. Hasty and without attention to detail, not thorough. A passing glance. A bodily reaction of changing from one place or stage to another. The passing of flatus. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Going by something that is moving in order to get in front of it. She drove but her reckless passing of every car on the road frightened me. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. To an extraordinary degree. She was a surpassingly beautiful woman. Euphemistic expressions for death. Thousands mourned his passing. The motion of one object relative to another. Stellar passings can perturb the orbits of comets. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Allowing you to pass, e.g., an examination or inspection, satisfactorily. A passing grade. The end of something. The passing of winter. Part with a possession or right. Let something fall or spill from a container. Music. The act or manner of terminating a musical phrase or tone. A device that when pressed will release part of a mechanism. Activity that frees or expresses creative energy or emotion. The act of liberating someone or something. Grant freedom to. Free from confinement. Make assets available. Release the holdings in the dictator's bank account. Release, as from one's grip. Release, gas or energy, as a result of a chemical reaction or physical decomposition. A legal document evidencing the discharge of a debt or obligation. The act of allowing a fluid to escape. Prepare an issue for public distribution or sale. Eliminate a substance. The plant releases a gas. The termination of someone's employment, leaving them free to depart. Make information available for publication. Release the list with the names of the prisoners. An announcement distributed to members of the press in order to supplement or replace an oral presentation. Euphemistic expressions for death. Generate and separate from cells or bodily fluids. Release a hormone into the bloodstream. A formal written statement of relinquishment. A process that liberates or discharges something. There was a sudden release of oxygen. Merchandise issued for sale or public showing, especially a record or film. A new release from the London Symphony Orchestra. Give an incentive for action. This moved me to sacrifice my career. Be in a state of action. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. The soldiers moved towards the city in an attempt to take it before night fell. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. The director moved more responsibilities onto his new assistant. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. We must move quickly. The act of changing your residence or place of business. They say that 3 moves equal 1 fire. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Follow a procedure or take a course. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. Progress by being changed. Propose formally, in a debate or parliamentary meeting. Arouse sympathy or compassion in. Her fate moved us all. Change residence, affiliation, or place of employment. We moved from Idaho to Nebraska. Dispose of by selling. The chairman of the company told the salesman to move the computers. Game. A player's turn to take some action permitted by the rules of the game. Go or proceed from one point to another. The debate moved from family values to the economy. Live one's life in a specified environment. She moves in certain circles only. Move so as to change position, perform a non-translational motion. He moved his hand slightly to the right. The act of deciding to do something. He didn't make a move to help.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.